We will now begin the Tokyo Financial Awards 2021 award ceremony. I am Kanako Asahara. I will be the MC for the ceremony. Thank you. First, we will have Mr. Eiichiro Kodama, Director of Global Financial City Strategy Policy Planning Bureau, Tokyo Metropolitan Government, to start with a few words and provide an overview of the award and the introduction of the award winners. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eiichiro Kodama from Tokyo Metropolitan Government. Thank you very much for your time and join us today for Tokyo Financial Award ceremony. I would like to explain about Tokyo's efforts to become a global financial city in the outline of the Tokyo Financial Award. The Tokyo Metropolitan Government has positioned the revitalization of the financial sector as the core of Tokyo's growth strategy and has been implementing various measures based on the global financial city Tokyo concept formulated in 2021. In November last year, we upgraded the concept to Global Financial City Tokyo 2.0 in light of changes in the global financial environment in order to realize sustainable recovery and evolve Tokyo into a world-leading global financial city. We have set 3 pillars in the new concept. Specifically, as shown in the middle of the slide, the 3 pillars are promotion of green finance, digitization of finance, and accumulation of finance-related players, such as asset managers. The Tokyo Financial Award, which is related to all of these 3 pillars, has been a symbolic effort of Tokyo as a global financial city, both domestically and globally, and this is the 4th time. Next, I would like to elaborate on Tokyo Financial Award. Tokyo Financial Award consists of 2 categories. The first category, the Financial Innovation category, sets a theme based on the needs of people and business of Tokyo for financial services and awards businesses that have proposed outstanding services to address those needs. In addition to the prize money, support programs such as business matchings will be provided. The other category is the Esg Investment category. As the name implies, this award is given to businesses that are actively promoting ESG investment. And this year, we will be awarding the Governor's Special Award for Green Finance to businesses that are particularly outstanding in their green finance initiatives. Next, I'd like to explain the process of the Tokyo Finance Award. As you can see on the bottom of the slide, there is a long process involving selecting the winners. In May last year, we invited Tokyo residents and businesses to submit their daily needs for financial services and ESG investment. And based on those, we set 34 themes in 6 areas, such as deposits and withdrawals, settlement, and invited applicants from a total of 138 applications from 29 countries in Japan and abroad. There were so many applications. Of those, the Financial Innovation category conducted the initial screening and provided the support programs that I mentioned earlier. And they have elaborated their business plan. In the final screening, we received enthusiastic presentations, and after a total of 14 hours of screening, the winning companies were selected. Now, I would like to introduce some of the experts who helped with the screening of this time. First, Chair of the judging panel, Mr. Hiromi Yamaoka, Director of Future Cooperation and International Finance Fellow of Tokyo Metropolitan Government. Next, a judge on the panel, Ms. Kayo Owe, Director of Office Libertas Corporation and a financial planner. Next, I'd like to introduce the expert committee members. First, Mr. Tomonori Uchiyama, professor of Tokyo Metropolitan University, who is an expert member of financial innovation category. Also, Mr. Shinsuke Sakamoto, managing director of the Japan Venture Capital Association, and Mr. Masujima, a partner at Mori Hamada Matsumoto law firm. Next, Mr. Masaru Arai, chairman of the Japanese Sustainable Investment Forum, and also Ms. Eva Harubasan, board member of PRI for ESG investment categories. Mr. Yasuyuki Kato, director of Institute for Money Design, specially appointed professor of Tokyo Metropolitan University and visiting professor at Kyoto University. I would like to thank all the judges again. I would like to introduce the award-winning companies. First, in the financial innovation category, the winner was G Bank categories O, which proposed a solution to the theme of a service that allows people to manage their financial assets, including bank accounts, insurance, securities, and inheritance, all in one place. The second place went to Karius Corporation, which proposed a solution to the theme of how to strengthen security and other services to prevent financial crimes. The third place went to Tractable Limited for their solution to the problem of simplifying insurance procedures. Next, I would like to introduce the ESG investment category. First, the winner of the Green Finance Governance Special Award, Daiwa Asset Management Corporation. Next, Nomura Holding Incorporation, using blockchain technology to link agriculture and food. And SBI Cap Ventures Limited, investing in solutions to climate change and other issues in India. I would like to congratulate all of you for winning the Tokyo Financial Award. I hope that this award will help you to expand your businesses further in Tokyo. The Tokyo Metropolitan Government will do its utmost to support you in publicizing your efforts even more broadly. Today's award ceremony will include presentations by the award-winning companies. After the award ceremony, from 3:40 p.m., presentations will be made by 13 of the 16 companies that made it to the final screening other than the award-winning companies this time. Although they missed out the awards this time, all of the companies have proposed excellent services. We hope that many of you will see their presentations. In closing, I would like to say that in order to make Tokyo a world-leading global financial city, not only the effort of the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, but also the support of all of you who join the effort are indispensable. I would like to ask for your continued support for global financial policies of Tokyo Metropolitan Government. Thank you very much. And congratulations to all of the award winners. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We received a few words. Next is the presentations by the award-winning companies. The first presentation is Tractable, which is the third place. Tractable Limited. Thank you. Presenter is Mr. Hota, the ASEAN Pacific General Manager. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am Hota, the General Manager, Asia Pacific and Japan, including Japan. I'm a little nervous today. Today, regarding the insurance claim payment affected by typhoon and we have shortened the lead time for claim payment. I'd like to make a presentation on this. This is the article of Nikkei business newspaper, and in evaluating the damage by typhoon, AI, image recognition AI, was used for the first time in the world. And currently, many non-insurance companies are paying attention to our service. So just briefly, I'd like to introduce the company, Tractable. Our company was founded in 2014, starting the business from London. So our vision is to realize the early recovery from natural disaster and car accident. And we are specializing in vertical. This is our characteristic. And even in the car accident, four non-insurance companies in Japan are using our solutions, and they are using our AI in evaluating the damage. And also, September last year, the computer vision image recognition AI in this area, we were the first unicorn company in the world. So what we are addressing the issues such as once the disaster and typhoon happens, and I'd like to introduce the steps until the claim payment is made. So this is as is the conventional processes until claim payment is made. First, the policyholder and report about the accident to the insurance company, and then the insurance companies will send the necessary document to the policyholder to their homes, and then policyholder pick up the repairers, and then repairer visit their home and see the damage. And in the disaster-stricken area, the number of repairers is limited, especially at a time of a typhoon. So usually it takes weeks for this process. And then policyholder send the necessary document and estimate to the insurance company, and there's no problem. Claim is paid. But now the typhoon has become larger and more frequent, and it takes weeks or a month until claim payment is made. So this is very convenient for policyholders or the businesses. They need money for recovery or for their business. And we expect that the typhoon will be larger and occur more frequently. The situation will be more serious. So we are using AI technology to shorten the lead time until claim payment from months to weeks. You can see here at the bottom, this is the step where AI of technology is used. So our web apps is sent to customer's smartphone, and then the policyholder click the links and take the picture of the affected area such as fence, and based on that, evaluation is done. And then the insurance company reps checks it, and there's no problem, and then a claim payment is made. So this is not just a vision, but actually it happened last year when typhoon hit Japan last year. MSAD group utilized our technology and realized that the very shortened lead time of claim payment, and using the screen of smartphone. So for the detail, you can see pictures, reviews that I'm going to show you now from now on. Natural disasters are one of the most serious social issues. In recent years, as typhoons have become larger and more frequent, it has taken several months for insurance claims to be paid after disaster. Tractable will solve this social problem with the most advanced AI technology. After the disaster, the house owner will contact the insurance company. The insurance company will send the house owner the URL for the Tractable app. And house owners will take the photo of the damaged area with their smartphone, and then AI determine the structure, area, material, degree of damage, and create a repair estimate. First, representative from the insurance company will review the estimate. The house owner will review the repair estimate, and if there are no problems, the insurance payment will be proceeded. Claim payments that used to take months will now be reduced to a few days. Tractable is committed to helping house owners affected by disaster get back to their normal lives as quickly as possible. So, as you have seen, by using AI technologies, those who need the money for recovery as soon as possible, and we'd like to make further contribution to such people. Thank you very much today. Thank you. So that was a presentation by Mr. Hota.
Next, we have a winner of the second place of Financial Innovation Award, Kaulis. We have Atsuyoshi Shimazu, founder and CEO of Kaulis. Have you used cashless payments? Recently, we see more options for payments. As you see on the news, users of cashless payments and fraud are both increasing. To make Tokyo an international city, we need to enhance security. International organizations are expecting us to do it. The backdrop of it is that identification is not catching up with that speed. The bank that you use for your money is expected to take two responsibilities to prevent money laundering. One, identification at the time of bank accounting, and to check the person actually exists. Two, continuous maintenance of the account, including information update. But those are costly and labor intensive. We try to use comprehensive information coming from a gas company so that we can check if the person actually exists, so that we can prevent impersonation use and prevent your financial assets. We are certified by Personal Information Protection Commission and Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry. We are going to enrich our services by cooperating with those organizations. We are going to enhance our financial services. My name is Shimazu from Kaulis. We are to provide security. When you provide your financial solutions to your customers, there are bad people behind the scene. We would like to protect your customers' financial assets and help your customers make transactions in a safe manner. Our company was established in 2015, about 6 years ago. At the beginning, we tried to prevent personal information from being viewed. Every time a bank account is opened or you use internet banking, we monitor login pages and we see multiple access, or we see a login from a different location. And 90% of our customers are financial institutions, including securities firms and credit cards. When we are selected by J Startup, we are the only company which was in the financial industry. This is a busy slide, but when you log in or when you start up application banking and try to log in, I always use MacBook and access from Otemachi, but we see a login from Kitakyushu using Windows, and also the keyboard is not Japanese. And we can tell that it's a suspicious login, and we have to protect customers' financial assets. We can get back to the customer in 0.1 second or almost in real time about the suspicious login. When you open a bank account or when you log in after that, we can check whether there's a login from a risky terminal. For example, we can utilize the records from bank A or B and say that this terminal is linked to the fraud account for example, and we can share the suspicious login in real time. Terminal information is not enough for us to make a decision about login being legitimate or fraud. Google and Apple decided to enhance securities, and then that means the security of criminals also enhanced, and it will be more difficult for us to tell which login is suspicious. That's what I thought in 2018 and 19. And I thought about a company who has transaction with all households in Japan, and we came up with a partnership idea with utility companies. And KEPCO raised their hand. Now they have 3 different functions. We have a business with Kansai transmission and distribution. They generate power and transmit the power and sell it. And our partnership is with the Kansai transmission and distribution. We are certified to do business. I think we are in the 3rd project and started POC. If we can utilize this service, we can pick up the suspicious bank account opening. There are 450,000 suspicious transactions reported, and fraud purchase on e-commerce is 25 billion to 30 billion. And if we can utilize this asset, we can help it. This is the guideline to prevent money laundering, and continuous monitoring of the accounts is part of the guideline that we provide the services to. In addition to the terminal information, we received part of the application information and compare that against the information from KEPCO. We can pick up the suspicious login. In addition to that, once the bank account is opened, for example, I opened a bank account when I was in junior high. Now I have a different address. After a bank account is opened, you have to monitor whether the person still uses the account, if he does, and whether the address is still the same. On a regular basis, we check this information against the information from the gas company and see if there's any suspicious account. And if we see a risky account, then we try to protect your financial assets to be transferred to that suspicious account. We have many payments companies, and cashless payments become available at the convenience store. Real and digital payments are very much integrated. Personal Information Protection Law, Electricity Business Act, Act on Prevention of Transfer of Criminal Proceeds. We see more and more regulations in place. By utilizing the information, we should be able to prevent criminals from making crimes in Japan. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Next, we are going to hear from GBank Technologies, OU. They took the first place in financial innovations. We have Raul Algiri, CEO of GBanks in Technologies.
This is Maria. Maria is moving to Japan for work, and she's excited to face new challenges. She loves anime and is crazy about Japanese cuisine. Exciting times ahead. One of the first things she needs to do in Japan is to set up her bank account so she can get paid for her work. Unexpectedly, this turns out to be very difficult. Banks close early at 3 p.m, so they're inconvenient to visit. If she doesn't speak Japanese, banks are reluctant to open an account for her. And even if she succeeds, she only gets a bank book and a plastic cash card. Internet banking is also limited, usually available only in Japanese. And no credit cards for foreigners. Maria supports her family back home, but sending money overseas is not cheap. Banking services in Japan are inconvenient and expensive. Giga has a solution for Maria and other foreigners coming to Japan. Maria just needs to download Giga app and start using it. She is able to open a real bank account in Japan from her mobile phone. The process taking less than 5 minutes, and it's done in her own language. Everyday banking services, bank accounts, payments, credit cards, and international money transfers are just the start. In the future, more various life services functions will be bundled into the Giga app, making it effectively Maria's personal control centre for everyday finances. Transaction history data will be collected, allowing her to build trust for her accessing credit and loan products. Maria will be able to elevate her life in Japan and enjoy her stay more fully. Finally, if Maria moves back to her home country, she'll be able to take her credit history with her and use it for elevating her life back home. Giga, banking in Japan made easy.
Hello, so I'm Raul Algiri, CEO and co-founder of Giga. And just like Maria, I'm also a foreigner living in Japan. And I've been in Japan in total more than 10 years, and I'm still using credit cards from my home country, Estonia. And well, my phone is actually on my wife's name, and I don't think that I have any opportunity to have bank loan from a Japanese bank to buy a house in Japan. I think I'm not the only one. And at the same time, of course, Tokyo is one of the most international cities in Asia. And as a future financial center, there will be more foreigners coming to Tokyo. So there will be more foreigners, and also there will be more people who are working in new ways, freelancers, gig workers, part-time employees. And if we ask if Japanese financial system is actually ready to welcome that many people from foreign countries or provide services to people working in new ways, then actually the answer is no. Today, when we look at internet banking, then actually only very few banks offer internet banking in English. And so even in my case, when I first came to Japan close to 20 years ago, I was surprised to get only paper-based bank book and plastic cash card. But the situation has not really changed. It's still pretty much a standard offering. So, and today, most of the people, when they go to a Japanese bank and they don't speak Japanese, they will be refused. And as a result, actually more than half of foreigners in Japan, they have their bank accounts in Japan Post Bank. And of course, there is no trust, so they are not able to enjoy extra financial services. Looking from the bank side, the situation is actually understandable. The Japanese banks today, they are not able to make any money from just managing bank accounts. Because the system is old, branch-based, and all those foreigners who don't speak Japanese, they need extra assistance. And banks actually can make money only when they give out loans, which foreigners would not qualify anyway. And and there are also actually very real risks involved with some foreigners who are selling their bank accounts, meaning bank books and cash cards, before leaving the country. And instead of focusing on doing proper digital KYC and AML procedures, banks go to the easy way and just say no. But we believe that actually with a proper digital banking, this is not really a problem that cannot be solved. So actually, in Japan, the legislation today is already quite good for fintechs. However, at the same time, when we look about the different digital banking models, then going into the legal details, then most of the banks today, kind of neobanks or digital banks, the license they use is bank agency license. Whereas the logic is that the company is representing the bank and reselling bank services. In our case, we want to use another license, which is Electronic Payment Services Operator license, and we will be representing the client, doing transactions based on their authorization, opening a bank account and doing initiating transfers and initiating payments. And based on the accumulation of personal data, we will be able to actually understand the risk profiles of people better and actually extend services into credit and additional services. And this is not really, as a business model, it's already been used in Europe and it's already been used in the US. The client for us will not be the bank, but the client will be the end user from whom we will get subscription fee every month. And in addition to just banking services, over time we will add additional services from third service providers, such as international remittance, loans, insurance, and so forth. And while building up the new trust models, we will actually be able to help those people living in Japan to access the financial products and financial services more fully. And when they go back home, they will also be able to basically take their credit history with them. Today, we already actually working in full speed. We are building up the version for the Japanese market. In Estonia, we have a development team based on mostly actually former TransferWise engineers. And we're already talking with various partners. Plus, we already have signed a partner with letter of intent with our partner bank in Tokyo. So we're hoping in this summer actually to be able to launch MVP, minimum viable product, and start elevating the lives of foreigners in Japan and in Tokyo. And the team, what we have, basically has quite a good knowledge about Japan, about banking in Japan, and also about like international digital banking models. So I'm quite confident that we are able to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rao. Here, we would like to invite Mr. Hiromi Yamaoka, CEO of Future, and also fellow for Tokyo International Finance. Thank you very much. This is Yamaoka. This time it was difficult to make a decision. All the judges and I had a hard time making a decision. I like music. I listen to music competitions. And famous musicians, when they are younger, they were not selected for awards. I hear often that. Then I didn't want people to say that you missed this kind of great business afterwards. So we tried to come up with the best decisions, and we selected those 3 tractable. The judges say that this is a very high-level initiative. For example, when a car runs into an accident, and if all the cars made from parts, it's not difficult to improve the quality. But the house is different one by one. How do we improve accuracy? And also we have an issue of incentive. if you receive enough insurance through AI assessment, then you're satisfied. But you will ask for a person for a better assessment if you're not satisfied with the AI assessment. And in order to operate businesses, there are hurdles in reality. However, this initiative is required on the globe. Fire, car accidents are distributed. But we face natural disasters, earthquakes, and they are concentrated in some regions on the globe. And that means that the claims of insurance is also concentrated and you have to handle them. And that's the mission. And this high-level initiative, they are determined to do it. We really appreciate it. That's the reason why I select them. Next, Kalius. They also did an important initiative, FATOF, money laundering. KYC regulations are getting stricter. Under those circumstances, some banks want to exit international transfer of money, and they try to use power company information. In foreign countries, it's difficult to make an open account because you don't have a social security number. If you want a social security number, and you have to have a bank account. But how do you utilize the public information? I think that's an important challenge. Power consumption was indexed to predict the production in the manufacturing. Utility data can be utilized for other approaches. I think this is going to be a challenge that we have to face in the future. By combining different types of data, they try to meet the needs. I think that's very great. And G-Bank Technologies, I think they are doing a very difficult initiative. A lot of regulations are stricter, and more banks want to withdraw from bank transfer from overseas. And there's no credit history in the country. And how do you conduct KYC and implement measures against money laundering? But Tokyo wants to be a financial city, and if they want to come to Tokyo to work, and we have to provide financial services. Otherwise, we cannot call ourselves a global financial city. And they are facing this challenge up front. That's very much appreciated. Lastly, we try to come up with the best decision, but maybe we missed some of the very important values. If we did so, I'm very sorry, but I did my best. And taking this opportunity, I want to thank again for all the applicants for this award. Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a comment from Mr. Yamaoka. So from here on, we will move on to ESG investment section. First, we will invite SBI Cap Ventures Limited. We are going to invite Anjuna Shishadori, the Vice President of SBI Cap. Floor is yours.
Worthy enterprises that require growth capital are not always able to access equity capital because the Indian funding ecosystem is not appropriately structured towards its needy prospects. An impact fund invests in building sustainable enterprises while generating attractive financial, environmental, and social returns. Nev Fund invests in underserved regions of India that have typically not been favored by private investment, leading to lack of access to clean energy and significantly low human development indicators. Nev means foundation in Hindi. True to its name, Nev Fund, a leading impact fund, invests in SMEs that have a transformative impact but face challenges attracting investment. The fund is powered by partners that are institutional and sovereign investors. In a market-first initiative, the fund's performance is measured by its financial as well as developmental returns. Nev Fund is addressing India's two major vulnerabilities: improving livelihoods, contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals, and mitigating and adapting to climate change, helping India achieve its nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement. Strategically aiming capital towards climate change, environment, and social impact through a diverse portfolio comprising low-carbon energy pathways, agricultural value chains, social infrastructure, such as healthcare and education. The impacts are extensive and exceed fund's targets, impacting 4 million lives positively. 50% of people served are from low-income groups. Commitment towards climate change, providing 290,000 people access to clean energy, creating over 125 full-time equivalent jobs per $1 million, and adding more each year, higher than averages of many developed nations, signifying efficient use of capital. Early ESG integration is a de-risking strategy that optimizes returns. Assuring revival, engaging with policymakers, enabling newer sectors and markets, which brings regulatory certainty, and responding to crisis by structuring a COVID special action stimulus. The ripple effect of early-stage impact investment is seen in the sustainable growth, enabling flow of catalytic capital from other sources. The portfolio has raised 3 times the capital. The engagement and impact strategy are crucial to generate returns. At Nev Fund, this has proven successful, with the fund realizing long-term returns that match private equity standards with a singular goal of creating deep-rooted societal impact. Nev Fund, building the sustainable growth and impact ecosystem for SMEs in India.
Our greetings to the Honorable Vice Governor of Tokyo, the panel of judges, the residents of Tokyo, friends and supporters of Nev Funds and SBI Cap Ventures Limited who have joined us today. Our first fund, may I request you to beam up the slide, please? Slide number 2. Our first fund has nearly 70% of its capital committed to investments in the climate and environment sectors. Subsequent to the successful results and outcomes of Nev Fund, SBI Cap Ventures has launched Nev2 Fund, focusing on climate change, clean technology, and environmental market sectors. Nev funds collectively have a target corpus of nearly $340 million. The fund manager is emerging as one of the largest Indian-owned green finance fund managers. The impact strategy was crafted with a laser-sharp focus on delivering financial and simultaneously social and environmental returns, with quantifiable outputs as number of jobs created, low-income groups served, and access to affordable infrastructure and clean energy. Nev2 Fund, the successor fund, has received commitments from various sovereign and development financial institutions, notably the Government of UK through their Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, the European Investment Bank, EU's Bank for Climate Finance, Small Industries Development Bank of India, and Self-Reliant India Fund. Notably, the fund has also received a commitment for up to nearly $30.5 million from the Government of Japan through its International Development Arm, JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency. Participation of JICA has demonstrated bilateral Indo-Japan partnership towards sustainable impact investment. Next slide, please. Nev Fund is engaged with Japanese businesses. There's an interest from few Japanese corporations in Nev Fund's investments. For example, Mitsui, a large Japanese conglomerate, has committed to an investment and technology exchange in an investee company operating in the agricultural-based supply chain. This exchange of technology and resources would enhance such cross-border activities, boosting trade across and between the two nations supporting the SMEs ecosystem. We are deeply grateful to the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, the Tokyo Financial Awards Secretariat for this honor and opportunity. Our congratulations to to the Daiwa Asset Management and Nomura Holdings for this coveted win. Thank you so much, and over to the Secretariat team.
Angela, thank you very much. Next, I'd like to invite Nomura Holding. We have presenter Atsuki Futono, CEO of Nomura Agri Planning and Advisory.
Eat Hokkaido. Eat corn. Thanks, Earth. Go Agri Channel. My name is Futono from Nomura Agri Planning. Thank you very much for the award in the ESG category for financial award. And opening my presentation, I just showed you the promotion video for our members. So once again, I'd like to talk about the initiatives that we have made combining agriculture, food, and fintech. First, about my company. So things like advanced technology in Japan and abroad, and new business model for farming, and in relation to revitalizing the region. And we have conducted a survey in those areas. And also, we have our company's firm in Hokkaido through our subsidiary. As you can see at the bottom left, this is the cornfield. So as we introduced our company name is, in full name, it's very long, so we just called the company NAPA. But what we are farming in the field is not grape and not radish. This picture is actually beets, not radish. So for the issues such as environmental issues, we consider this environmental issue is important issues for us. That's why we are addressing those issues in our initiatives. And also we work together with Nomura Group companies. And also we established a fintech venture company. And we work together with those companies in making the efforts in those initiatives. I have this is the overview of our activity. So in relation to agriculture, there are issues such as aging farmers, and there are more and more abandoned field. And also due to the pandemic, there was a significant impact on restaurant business. And also on consumer side, they are experiencing the changing lifestyle. So food loss is one of the social issues. So expanding the digital asset market and address those issues. And then we started this initiative. This project is to have the farmer and chef work together. And we offer the membership of Food Digital. And they have some benefits once they become the members. But this is not just online service, a shopping service of food. Rather, for farmers and chefs, this is more recurring business. And also consumers can hands-on experience. This is what we are envisioning. So what we are trying to have is the food market through digital memberships. Once we can develop this market, so the ticket that the member purchased actually for 100 will be higher, and they can resell the ticket for 150, and the proceeds can be also enjoyed and shared by farmers and chefs. And this will be conducive to revitalizing regional economy eventually. So in the area of art, and this is the another area that is drawing attention. So actually mechanism is the same as financial market, but addressing the food and farmers, we can fulfill responsibility in terms of ESG, SDGs. So it's not just blockchain technology, but also collaboration with the chef is something that we are also considering. Good vegetables, the value will be higher if chef make a good meal. So the vegetables harvested by Nogra Farm are cooked by very famous chef and the chef of Channel, and food are cooked are frozen and delivered to consumers in Tokyo under the brand of Agri-Channel. Agri-Channel is to stimulate the sense of taste. That is the concept of the brand. When people feel something is very tasty, but the people's sense of taste has been declining because of mass production food and more food additive in the meals. But we would like to stimulate once again the sense of taste of the memberships. And also, there's another concept for the brand, the recipe for contributing to revitalization of the regional economy. And also the recipe is already published by the chef. For example, how we can utilize out-of-spec vegetables. By utilizing the vegetable, although they are out of the spec, but we can make a contribution to sustainable farming, and also we can increase the appealing of the vegetables harvested locally. If you look at this picture, these are one of the examples cooked at Agri-Channel. We hold events, and member can only enjoy. And also, ILET, this is the platform launched last year, and we are making the preparation for the second launch. Once we can successfully demonstrate this mechanism, and then all the farmers across Japan and many stakeholders can work together furthermore. And it is important to have this mechanism always start from Tokyo. Tokyo are the city which is well known for so many good restaurants, even according to Michelin. And then we can appeal to many foreigners living in foreign countries. And we'd like to make a contribution to SDG models starting from Tokyo. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Next, we are going to move on to Green Finance Special Award. We have Mr. Koichi Matsushita, CEO of Daiwa Asset Management. I am Matsushita from Daiwa Asset Management. We are very pleased to receive the newly established Green Financial Finance Governance Special Award for our efforts, which have been very highly evaluated. We are a Japanese investment management company that celebrates its 60th anniversary 2 years ago. And we are one of the signatories of the inaugural Principles for Responsible Investment, PRI, which set forth 6 investment principles that require consideration of ESG issues. In the area of ESG investment, we have been working mainly on engagement aimed at improving corporate value and providing ESG investment opportunities through investment trusts. Now, let me introduce our efforts to promote new investments that aim for zero carbon emissions, which won the award this time. I would like to introduce our company's efforts. What can we do now for the future of the Earth and humanity? With this in mind, we have designed a carbon-free technology equity fund aka Carbon Zero, to offer a new form of investment that aims for zero carbon. In August last year, the Daiwa Securities Group formulated and announced its carbon neutral declaration. One of the key policies of the carbon neutral declaration is to provide investment opportunities that contribute to the realization of a decarbonized society, which led to the creation of this fund, which was awarded the Tokyo Financial Award. This fund is the first fund of its kind in Japan that aims to achieve zero carbon as a fund by carefully selecting and investing in companies that provide solutions that lead to a decarbonized society. In addition, through NPOs, we will continue tree planting activities according to the balance as long as the fund is in existence. I would like to explain what aiming for zero carbon as a fund means. The fund will carefully, selectively invest globally in solution companies that contribute to the realization of a decarbonized society. The primary objective of the fund is that the solutions developed by the portfolio companies will help decarbonize the world, and that the fund will benefit from these companies. At the same time, the investee companies will emit CO2 through their corporate activities to offset the CO2. Kandorian, the fund's advisory company, will contribute funds to green projects outside the fund, thereby offsetting carbon and aiming for zero carbon for the fund as a whole. This is a form of investment that thoroughly aims to realize a zero-carbon society. The impact of the fund is disclosed to investors in a clear, regular, and thorough manner. In our monthly ESG-related reports, we explain in an easy-to-understand manner how investments in our funds are impacting society using figures such as carbon footprint, ESG score, and SDGs score. In addition to ESG-related reports, we plan to publish an annual impact report in the future. The fund is managed on the advice of Kandorian, a Belgian company that is a pioneer in ESG investing. Kandorian has more than 25 years of experience in sustainable investment and is one of the world's most experienced ESG investment managers. Like us, Kandorian has been a signatory to the PRI since its inception, and in its most recent PRI report, it's received the highest possible rating of A+ in all 6 categories. Here's a message from Mr. Naim Abou Jallow, CEO of Kandorian.
Good afternoon. I'm Naïm Aboujaoudeh, the CEO of Kendriam and the Chairman of New York Life Investment Management. First, I would like to thank Governor Koike for her presence today. I also wanted to thank the members of the Tokyo Financial Awards Committee and, of course, all the investors of Tokyo for giving us the opportunity to receive such prestigious awards. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the Daiwa Group, Daiwa Asset Management and its CEO, Mr. Matsushita. Thank you for your partnership and trust. We are very proud to support you and your clients. Kendriam has been a pioneer and a leader in sustainable finance for the last 25 years. Our commitment is not only to deliver financial and extra-financial performance to our clients. It is also to educate and to accompany investors to make a positive impact on society with their investments. This is exactly what has been at the root of our Carbon Zero Fund. This product is the recipient of the ESG know-how we have built over the years. Japan has also set strong ambitions to become a decarbonized society. Kendriam is fully committed in helping Japanese investors achieve this challenging transition. You can count on us. Thank you.
Thank you, Naim-san. In cooperation with Kendriam, we will continue to provide attractive investment opportunities and actively disseminate information to retail investors in an easy-to-understand manner. I have explained the operational aspects of the program so far, but I would like to explain about the efforts to plant trees through NPOs. Our company, Daiwa Securities, and other sales companies will support tree planting activities by making donations to the Environmental Relations Institute and NPO certified by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government according to the balance of the fund. The first tree planting is scheduled on June of this year, the first anniversary of the fund's establishment. In addition, at the end of February every year, beneficiaries with a balance of 5 million units or more will receive a certificate of tree planting as a symbol that they are watching over the growth of the forest. The planting of trees is proportion to the balance will continue every year as long as the fund is in existence, leading to a cycle of nurturing assets with customers from a long-term perspective and watching the forest grow again. We are planning to plant 1,000 trees in Hinohara Village in Tokyo. We will be planting 1,000 saplings in Hinohara Village in Tokyo, and we will give the saplings to Vice Governors Miyasaka as a catalog later. Investing in decarbonization to grow assets and nurture forests with you, we hope that our investors and the people of Tokyo will join us in our efforts to realize the world's goal of a decarbonized society. Thank you very much for your attention. Mr. Matsushita, thank you very much for your presentation. Here, we are going to hear from Mr. Yamaoka about the ESG Investment Section Awards. Yamaoka-san, over to you. Thank you. I really enjoyed the presentations. The decarbonization was a big topic last year, but we saw very stretched goals and aspirational goals, and we hear lots of ideas from it. So I want to give a few words to each. SBI CAP in India, by 2030 and 2030, they want to be carbon neutral. And they are going to be the biggest country in terms of population. So Indian initiatives are watched by the globe, and it's very important for the globe. Under those circumstances, SBI CAP wants to reach out to different types of people, and they secure their own governance. I think that's a very good initiative. Green finance is always facing the greenwash issue, but they try to reach out to different types of stakeholders and secure their governance. I think that's a very good initiative. Nomura Holdings, Tokyo is the biggest city in terms of restaurants, and Hong Kong, Singapore appreciate Japanese cuisine. I thought that the blockchain shouldn't be limited to cryptocurrencies. By using it, we can issue the proof of the origin of the products. I thought that was one idea that we can implement, and also good ingredients can be turned into very nice cuisine. Nomura Holdings utilized new technology in the area of food. That was a very refreshing idea. Next, Daiwa Asset Management. Carbon neutrality by fund. So we are all made from carbon compounds, and we have to breathe and we have to exhaust CO2s. And so probably we shouldn't be living our lives because we generate CO2s. That's not the world we are aiming for. We live with all the animals, and carbon neutrality, carbon emission zero, if we want to realize them, we can probably supplement some initiatives by others. And they try to be carbon neutrality by fund. They can do it because they are a financial institution. Otherwise, we cannot realize the carbon zero in the same ecosystem. Pricing and risk evaluation can be utilized, and they will try to achieve carbon neutrality as a whole. I think this is necessary for the future. That was the very much appealing point from the company. I again appreciate all the applicants for the ESG award section. Thank you very much. We heard from Mr. Yamaoka about the ESG award section. Next, we are going to hear a few words from Governor of Tokyo, Yuriko Koike. Hello, everyone. I'm Yuriko Koike, Governor of the Tokyo Metropolitan Government. Thank you very much for joining us today for the Tokyo Financial Awards ceremony. I'd like to express my sincere appreciation for the cooperation of Chairperson Yamaoka and other members of the screening committee. I'd like to extend my congratulations to all the awarded winners. This year's Tokyo Financial Awards, the fourth of its kind, was a fierce competition with 138 entrants. In the financial innovation category, a service that provides a financial services platform for foreigners working in Japan won first place. In the financial innovation category, a service that provides a financial services platform for foreigners working in the ESG investment category, the creation of a fund aiming for zero carbon emission was selected for the newly selected Green Finance Governance Special Award. And efforts to link agriculture and food through blockchain and efforts to solve climate change in India were also highly evaluated. All of these initiatives will contribute to the digitalization of finance and the expansion of ESG investment. This is a wonderful initiative that will lead to sustainable recovery from the COVID pandemic, which is currently being promoted by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government. I strongly hope that you will take the opportunity of this award to further expand your business in Tokyo and play an even more attractive role. Let's work together to make Tokyo the world's leading international financial city. I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to all of you today. So we heard a few words from the governor of Tokyo, Yuriko Koike. Thank you very much.
We will have trophy presentation and photo session with award-winning companies with presenter Mr. Manabu Miyasaka, Vice Governor of Tokyo Metropolitan Government, and Mr. Hiromi Yamaoka, the Chief of Judging Panel. To prevent the spread of COVID, we will not be awarding the trophy in person, but the representative of the award-winning companies has already received the trophy and they will take the stage. We will now have the commemorative photo session for financial innovation category. The third place winner in this category, Mr. Hota, Tractable Limited, please come to the stage. And Mr. Miyazaka, Vice Governor of Tokyo, and Mr. Yamaoka will join in the photo session. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you. Next, we will have the second place winner in the financial innovation category, Mr. Shimazu from Caris Corporation. Please come to the stage. Congratulations. Now, let's take a photo. Thank you very much. And now, the winner of the first prize in financial innovation category, Mr. Raul from GBank Technologies or you. Please come to the stage. Congratulations. And let's take a photo. Thank you very much. And the winner of the Esg Investment category will now be presented with their trophies and photo will be taken. Mr. Suresh Kojikote, CEO of SBI Cap Venture Limited, is joining us remotely today. The trophy will be presented, although indirectly, through the screen. And also we will take a photo with you. SBI Cap Ventures Limited, CEO Suresh Kojikote, we are now having the photo session. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Let's move on to ESG investment. First, Nomura Holdings. We have Ms. Sonobe, the head of Sustainability Promotion Division, Nomura Holdings. Congratulations, and thank you very much. Next, we have Green Finance Governance Special Award of ESG, Mr. Matsushita from Daiwa Asset Management. We are going to get the plants as part of their tree planting projects that they explained in the presentation. Congratulations. And thank you very much for the plant. Thank you very much, everyone. Now we are going to have a group photo with all the companies awarded. We are going to change the stage setting. So I'd like to show a promotion video of Tokyo.
Tokyo will evolve into the world's leading global financial city, presenting a trailblazing model of sustainable recovery. Utilizing the city's overall strengths, Tokyo will accumulate diverse financial players under the keywords green and digital.
Open up your possibilities in Tokyo. We will support your success.
Tokyo 2030, Global Financial City Tokyo.
Thank you very much. Congratulations again for the award. That's the end of the award ceremony. We are going to have a 10-minute break, and at 3:40, we are going to hear presentations from the companies who passed the first screening. For financial innovation, we had 16 companies to participate in the support program, and 3 out of 16 already made presentations. We are going to hear presentations from the remaining 13 companies after the break. I'd like to thank all of you again. Thank you very much.